Now let's talk about command prompt. Command prompt is a text-based interface instead of a graphical user interface that you see right here on your screen. This is a graphical user interface. So what do we do here with the command prompt? Well, command prompt is used to run commands right into the system instead of just running programs directly by just clicking here on a folder or moving into a folder like this. And so how do we open command prompt in the first place? Well, first thing that you have to do is just go to the search menu and just type in CMD, and it should open up right here, command prompt. Or you can type in run, and run will give you some options. You can type in cmd.exe and it will also run a command prompt. Now what do I see here in front of my screen? It's a black screen. Well, first thing you see here is your directory, like where you are right now. As I said before, that command prompt goes into different directories and performs programs there in those directories. So let's say if I wanted to open a file that was present in E directory's specific folder, then I can use an explorer as well, but I can also use command prompt because it gives us more flexibility and more programs access, as you will see later. And so what do I do now? Well, I will run a few commands and I will show you how those commands work. But first thing you gotta see here is that this thing right here with the colon and a drive name, this is showing me the drive name and this is showing me the directory or the tree. So let me show you how to change this, right? You can go to, I have 3 drives, C, D, and E. I can go to E, I can go to D, and I can go back to C. And it'll go to the same folder I was in C before. Now, it's very interesting. I can switch folders, but I can also see what folder I'm in right now. If I type in dir, I can see that there are many folders here. I can go into any of these folders. I can go into documents, I can go into downloads, I can go into desktop. So let's go into desktop. I can show how many folders there are, where I can see one folder right here. And if I type in dir, I can see desktop right here. And I can also make other things. For example, I can make a new folder, I can make a new file. I won't go into making a new file because Windows command prompt doesn't have that command, but it's not a big deal. You don't need to know all that. What you need to know is that you can make folders right here using make dir. For example, new folder. There you go. You can see it right here. You can remove a folder just by doing almost the same thing, but this time rmdir, and it will remove the folder. I can also change directories as I showed before, but I can also go back by doing cd dot. I'll go back and I can go back into the desktop folder. As I said that you can make files. I'm not sure if your computer has that command, but you can use the touch command if you're on Mac to create touch new file .txt, and I have a new file .txt. If I type in new file .txt, it should open up. It will only open up if the system knows what file to open. But if I am over flooding your brain right now, and then don't worry about it. You don't need to know a lot of stuff what I'm telling you about command prompt. You only need to know how to change directories, how to run programs, and how to make directories and remove directories, all that stuff. You don't need to know a lot of that stuff, but you have to know how to navigate through different folders, and that's what you do. You use the cd command, you use a dir command, you use your remove directory, make directory, and changing your drives wherever you are. Now I'm going to show you how to run Python, because we have not touched Python so far. And if I type in Python, it is because I have installed Python, and I can see here that a Python interpreter shows up. I type in anything here, it will be interpreted as Python. If I type in 1 + 1, it'll give me 2. If I type in print function, which is a function in Python, I'll explain how that works. It should give me my name back. Exciting, isn't it? And in the next lecture, we'll talk about how we can write code in files and then run it directly in the command prompt. So I'll see you in the next video, in the next lecture. And if you have any question, please ask in the question section. I'll definitely reply to that, and make sure to read whatever resources are attached alongside, and make sure that you understand all of this stuff.